to work out which way around it is. That's all right. Okay.
Well, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining me for this very important July 14 gathering to demand a new blood bank for Australia. For 30 plus years, I campaigned in good faith against the Australian Red Cross Lifeblood because people like myself and thousands of others received tainted blood transfusions and tainted blood treatments. Thousands of women in childbirth were given tainted blood transfusions. They've had no acknowledgement and no help. 1,400 haemophiliacs, with hundreds of them being children, were knowingly provided with tainted blood treatments. I repeat, knowingly. I just sent Franco last night an email that showed how in 1973, on the product labels of these blood treatments that were given to children who didn't always need these things, it said hepatitis as one of the side effects. They've known for decades, and they know that the blood supply is tainted today. So incredibly, today is the day that the Australian Red Cross have announced that they're lifting all restrictions on gay blood donation. Now the thing is, the justification that they're using for this is a medical research organisation called the Kirby Institute, with a patron who's Justice Michael Kirby, apparently has done some bullshit modelling exercises and have decided that it's safe to risk the blood supply all over again. Well, they would say that because they're sponsored by the actual blood sellers, CSL. The sale of human blood has now become Australia's third largest business, and an extra 600,000 gay donors is very, very good money indeed for CSL. They're not interested in anything woke. They're not doing this to improve gay rights. We care about gay rights. We've got gay men and women in our group at Infected Blood Australia. We've had gay board members of Infected Blood Australia. But what we're about is about safety. Now, this decision by the Kirby Institute is outrageous and it's criminal. Justice Kirby is the patron, and this week I received evidence that I could not believe in relation to Justice Kirby. I oppose Justice Kirby calling for a lifting on all gay blood donations before Justice Kirby answers to what his charity had been covering up for the best part of 40 years. And that is the manslaughter deaths of hundreds of children. Justice Kirby! Justice Kirby! You will be made to answer. Your charity, the Kirby Institute, has had tens of millions in public funding. Why have you not called for an inquiry into thousands of women receiving tainted blood transfusions in childbirth? Why have you not called for an inquiry into tens of thousands of Australians acquiring the deadly virus hepatitis C? The Kirby Institute is publicly funded on the basis that it collects infectious disease data. It is publicly required by law to report any anomalies or any dangers to the public, and yet it has failed in its duty to do so. And I would argue the reason it's failed in its duty to do so is because it has a commercial relationship with the blood supply. Justice Kirby, for decades we heard about what an esteemed judge you were, and for decades we heard about your strong record in human rights. But today you're being used to lift restrictions on gay blood donation, which is really so these guys here, the Australian Red Cross Lifeblood, who are criminals, can sell 600,000 new blood donations. Well, everybody, this is a disgrace, and for those of us who have unbanked blood, one day we or our loved ones might need to go into hospital. Quite frankly, that one day is almost every week. I'm hearing from people who are being told they need blood transfusions, but they don't want to run the Russian roulette of receiving spike proteins or heavy metals or having a corrupt blood bank give them their blood transfusions. So today, everybody, yes, after 30 years of having my time wasted, I have decided, and I've got to tell you, I've got the evidence. I've been told I'm going to be murdered. I've had a criminologist send me very credible evidence that Australia's senior bureaucracy are to assassinate me because they know that I've figured it all out. Yes, I have. They're selling our blood. They're selling our freely donated blood for billions of profits, and they don't care about us. And so for 30 years I had my time wasted by these liars. I campaigned in good faith. My mother put up with me for 30 years, right? Funded me, did all of this, and guess what? She died in November, and what have we still got? We've still got the Australian Red Cross Lifeblood who are selling our blood. So, I am retiring from campaigning today because I tell you what, I've just paid for lawyers, right? I've just paid for lawyers to take these guys on, to take these bureaucrats on because they won't listen to me. Okay, these people at these blood banks, they won't listen to Australians and they won't listen to citizens. The only thing they'll listen to is money! Money, right? So we have to get lawyers onto them and that's what we're doing. But today, even though I retire from campaigning for infected blood because I realise it's a giant waste of time, I now start something new. And that new thing is a new blood bank for Australia. A new blood bank is coming. Have a look at the story. Support Unvaxxed Blood. Unvaxxedblood.com.au. Look at that, everybody. What a good craft we've got here. Look at these signs. CSL. This is a laboratory connected to the lifeblood. They're selling our blood. They sell it for billions of profits. Look at this. These are the pictures of the people who played heroes, HIV heroes, when it's a lie. It's an absolute lie. Ida Buttrose, for 40 years, told us she was a hero of HIV when nothing could be further from the truth. Justice Kirby. Oh yeah, the esteemed Justice Kirby. He played a hero of HIV. Oh yes, he did. But guess what? 2 days ago I had calls from parents who lost their children to blood product acquired HIV, and the stuff they had to say about Justice Kirby left me cold. It left me cold. We must have a new blood bank. We've got evil tyrants and criminals right here running this joint. Today we are registering names. If you are a current blood donor with the lifeblood, I have been approached by many, okay? I will be taking down your names. We will register you for this proposed new blood bank. If you are a potential recipient of blood, as of from today, we'll be taking down your names and details so that we can keep you up to date on when our new blood bank has been arranged. Now, a new blood bank will need lawyers to help us with the regulation process. We're going to need haematologists, we're going to need refrigeration and all sorts of stuff. We'll need money. But I will never be part of selling blood. I want Australia to have the safest blood supply in the world after all we've been through. I want us to have a community blood bank. Okay? No spike proteins, no selling blood, no heavy metals, just the safest blood supply possible. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you! Something to say, heads up.
Happy birthday to Charlie.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Now guys, you've got to understand that the Red Cross, wait for it, they've changed their name. Lifeblood. And there's nothing living about it right now. Because it's completely dirty and it's completely tainted. And they've been selling plasma on the world market.
Change!
Shame! Not to mention the mRNA shots, right? The elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. But they won't talk about it. No. But we're going to talk about it. Have you had a gutful?
Yes!
Have you had enough?
Yes!
What surprises me is my fellow other Australians around seem to have their heads in the sand and will not stand up for the very nation that they live in right now.
Yep.
Change!
They think they're living in a paradise.
Happy birthday,
The lucky country. Well, I'll tell you something. There's nothing lucky about it right now.
That starts from today.
Nothing.
Yeah, wonderful, thank you.
If you can't get animated enough to realise that we've been taken for a ride, ladies and gentlemen, they coerced you into a poisonous clot shot. Those ambulances don't stop running day and night, and no one seems to realise. You've been harmed. And you can't take this any less seriously right now. Now, I'm not talking to this great crowd in front of me right now. I'm talking about the crowd on the outskirts that surround us. Everything's just okay, when it seriously isn't okay. I don't know what it takes to wake a nation up. Right, to think that we've got our bureaucratic system, to think that it's working on our behalf, and it isn't. They want to put us into the WHO and the WEF, where they relinquish their responsibilities in running this country, yet we supposedly had voted for them. But this organisation here has a checkered past history. It goes way, way back, almost to the Vietnam War days, the CIA, the Second World War. Right? Their narcotic trade that they won't dispose. Mafia! They were our mafia, indeed, coming under the disguise of Red Cross. But anyway, we're going to go down to Maggie's later on. She's the patron of the Red Cross. Go bloody figure!
Can someone hold my camera and I'll...
How these dots connect so closely together, ladies and gentlemen.
I've just got an announcement for
Yeah.
Kingsley.
But I'm going to hand you back to Charles. So this is Charles' day, and I certainly don't want to take any away from him, because he's worked gallantly for 30 plus years, right, heating the front line. And why? Because he cares. He cares for the people in this country. Shame on everybody else who won't stand.
Yeah. Thank you, Franco.
Well, everybody, unfortunately our video got muted earlier, so a lot of what I was saying probably didn't get heard by our audience, but I will repeat this now. I have had 30 years of my life wasted by this Australian Red Cross Lifeblood, who are a pack of bloody liars. They're lying. They've killed thousands of people and they've killed hundreds of children, and it was done through manslaughter. So today is a new dawn. And the new dawn is we are registering or about to register a new blood bank. We're going to need to find blood donors, okay? And we're going to need to find people who want to receive unvaxxed blood. You can support the petition for unvaxxed blood at unvaxxedblood.com.au. That is our website, unvaxxedblood.com.au. Okay, everybody, and I've got to tell you something. We're about to march down to New South Wales Government House to get this government legislation. We're going to see what happens to me today. Why is Dr. Beasley, a former judge, not calling for an inquiry? That's her lawful duty. Thousands of Australians have been harmed by the blood supply, and she's not called for an inquiry. And guess what? Guess what? Another judge called Justice Kirby, who I was just telling you about, he's being used as the justification to lift all restrictions on gay blood donation. 600,000 extra gay blood donors, and they're going to sell their blood. But why can't they give us answers as to what happened with the infected blood scandal? Why are we having all of this first before answers for mothers that lost children to tainted blood? This is an absolute outrage, and I tell you what, after 30 years of having my time wasted, I've come to the conclusion there is only one thing that we can do, and that is start again. We have to start again with services that we trust, and I suggest we start again by replacing these guys who've been selling our voluntary donated blood. They're gone, they're finished, their history is one of murder, and today is the beginning of the end for the Australian Red Cross Lifeblood. Thank you so much, everybody, for turning up. We will now march when Franco is ready and others ready. We'll march to New South